when I saw, I guess I missed initially the wave of Huggins. I don't know when that really actually was reported. I might have been playing golf. I don't know. But when I saw the news, I thought there was no other ending other than the fact he would have to resign.
Yeah, I mean, the news as in he got a DUI,
when he got a DUI
and had a whole lot of stuff going on, big blood alcohol content level, second incident in the past few months. I mean, there was a few things to unpack. It wasn't like, West Virginia just woke up and decided to fire Bob Huggins. He followed up the radio mess from a few weeks back with a far bigger mess, probably in every way, shape, and form. But yeah, Bob Huggins, no longer the head coach at West Virginia. It's pretty shocking. And then not shocking if you read the details and you put two and two together as far as having a new athletic director, having two incidents here in the span of, was it like 3 months maybe? I don't recall exactly on the timeline when he did that radio show, but it hasn't been very long. So, to have that and to overcome that and obviously have to make a concession as far as his contract goes and then to be walking, probably on some thinner ice than normal, you just can't afford to make any kind of mistake. And then to go and do what he did allegedly or apparently, just, not a surprise that West Virginia finally said, okay, like we just can't do this anymore. We're going to change course. It's terrible because, he's a West Virginia guy. He's a Morgantown guy. And he's obviously a great basketball coach, but, you have to draw the line in the sand somewhere. And after these past couple incidents, if it wasn't going to be now, when was it going to be, right? I mean, What was it going to take? So I hate it for West Virginia. It's been a hell of a year for Mountaineers fans out there. I'm positive that Ren Baker will go out and find a great basketball coach to be the new foundation of that program. But, I liked Bob Huggins. I still, like him, I suppose, and been entertained by him over the years. But I don't blame, the school for doing what it felt it needed to do in this situation. And I just hate that it came to an end like this for a guy who's a Hall of Famer already and, has done a lot of great things for the game. But, you have a responsibility in that position. And he's had a couple big mistakes that added up and cost him his job. So, yeah, really unfortunate all the way around. They had a huge offseason, and there was a lot of excitement for next year in basketball. You add in the football part with Neil Brown and just a lack of certainty and excitement that's kind of there right now because a lot of people just feel like he's sort of a dead man walking. And if somebody wants to correct me and they feel like that's not really the way it's being taken, then feel free to fill me in because that's certainly the way it feels to us whenever we hear from West Virginia fans a lot of the time. It's really rough. So, unfortunate all the way around.
Yeah, it was. And again, the first thing, he survived that. And usually whenever you make any kind of I guess any kind of racial and or anything about someone's lifestyle, you're pretty much a dead man walking or dead woman walking. But he was able to get through that, and then this, and might have been some other things he's dealing with too. But he's gone. Bob Huggins is gone. I enjoyed his press conferences. Paul used to be able to kind of act or talk like him, like he can a lot of others, whether they're actors or coaches. So he's out. We'll hear from Mike Kazaza, 247 Sports, covers West Virginia. He'll join us today in about 20 minutes, a little bit less than that, on what is next. I had Joey and Steven contacted me over the weekend asking me about what they thought might happen. By the way, Connor Cole, $4.99 super chat right off the top, Connor. As a Cincinnati fan and a Huggy Bear fan, this isn't totally shocking, seeing that this is what got him fired at Cincinnati back in the early parts of the 2000s. So thanks for the feedback. I did not know that, but thank you very much for your feedback. It's also Joey Foster. Yeah, if that's all it takes, somebody by Neil Brown, buy him a damn beer. Oh, Joey, no.
That's pretty rough on a way to start a Monday, but understand the sentiment. Yeah, just I get where you're coming from to an extent there, but that is pretty rough. And I'm just glad that we can kind of chuckle about it, that nobody got hurt, honestly, because clearly that'd be, a far worse story. And, a guy's got problems. I mean, clearly, obviously, and I think that's, the main takeaway here is not so much, oh, damn, West Virginia lost a basketball coach. It's that this Hall of Fame basketball coach who a lot of people clearly loved, and some people don't, and that's fine. That's pretty much anybody in walk of life, especially somebody who's got some success. Then that's part of it's understandable, but I think everybody can kind of see that just something's not going right, and when you have a situation like the one a few days ago where you got a trash can with empty beer cans, you got shredded tire, you're clearly not all there, you got a massive BAC, he needs to get some help, and I know that this isn't necessarily the first brush with that part of life, and so hopefully it's something where he can kind of have that wake-up call and be thankful that it's not worse. And look, it's not great. He lost his job. He's probably embarrassed as all hell, and he's got an addiction issue as far as I'm concerned. So hopefully he's able to go and take this time and clean himself up or do what he needs to do to get into a better place, because that's not a good look. That's a terrible look for anybody, much less a high-level Hall of Fame basketball coach. I read the story off to somebody, and they're like, why was he driving? Like, why was he driving around booze cruising? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, we always talk about athletes and get a driver, but I feel like if you really want to go booze cruise that badly, like as Bob Huggins, you could hire a driver and just go drive around.
Here, Kim Coulter, Craig, how in the blank does a guy that makes $4 million a year not have a driver, or at least an Uber driver, or call them total dumbass? That's what he said to Kim Coulter.
I agree. I think it's a really stupid, poor decision, and I don't get it, because he could easily just hire a driver, and if he wants to ride around and drink beers or whatever, then go post up in the back of whatever vehicle. And I'm not advocating for that, but I'm just saying, like, do that. Don't get behind the wheel and have a trash bag for your empties and ride around doing whatever it was you were doing. So, yeah, just an awful look. I hate it for West Virginia fans, and hopefully, and I feel good that they'll go and find a great basketball coach. But obviously, this is a bit of a double whammy, because it is Huggy Bear. It is a legend, and it's a West Virginia guy. And so it's just sad to see, that chapter come to a close like that. But it could have been worse. But it's still not great.
It also, and I think it was Joey who mentioned this, or Steven on the text to me, that the other part of this that made this unacceptable, he was driving in a university lease vehicle, which, of course, that's just one more little part of that. From KWKSU, Huggy did say he was going to concentrate the next few months on family and health. I hope he sincerely means it, not just a statement, but I have always heard that admitting is the first step to recovery.
Right on. Totally agree with you. And I hope, too, that it's not just some statement. I mean, this isn't his first dance, I think, with this type of thing. And, for some people, you don't quit after the first dance or the first sign of trouble or the first, incident even. For some people, it might not even be number 2 or number 3. It might be till they hit absolute rock bottom. And if it's not his rock bottom, then, I don't know what will be, and hopefully we never have to find that out. But, yeah, just the fact that, at least in his message, he's acknowledging that there's some things to take care of in his personal life, I think is a good step, so long as he means it. And it clearly appears to be that that's the case, is that it is needed. So, yeah, I mean, he should have enough money to last him, through retirement and be able to live comfortably and all of that. But, to live the best life, he does need to address some things, obviously, and hopefully he does.
And here's one more thing, is that now the search begins. Immediately, as soon as that story probably popped out, that Ren Baker, who we know, would have to make a decision. He did the first time that Huggy got himself sideways with the radio show.